I think we have all spent a little too much time waiting, waiting to feel ready, waiting for the moment where we wake up and suddenly have the wisdom to handle the things that scare us. We have become experts at the retreat. If a conversation feels like it's going to be heavy, we dodge it. If a job feels like it's going to demand too much of us, we look the other way. We are like a player in a game who just keeps rolling away from the boss, hoping that if we stay far enough, we'll never actually have to fight. But there's this one move in Sekiro. You know the one, the Mikiri Counter. It's the move that forces you to stop running. It tells you that the only way to survive the spear coming at your chest is to actually step forward and pin it to the ground. And I started thinking, what if that's the only way we actually learn anything? What if the wisdom we are waiting for is actually hidden inside the very collisions we are trying to avoid? Let's be honest with each other. You're 22 or 25 or maybe 30, and you feel like you're playing the game with half a health bar. You look at the adults where around you. You look at the adults around you and assume they have some secret manual you haven't been given. You think you're being careful by not making a move. You tell yourself you're analyzing the board. But there's a massive lie hidden in that hesitation. You think wisdom is something you gather before you act, like it's a resource you can farm in the tutorial area. But wisdom isn't a prerequisite, it's a byproduct. It's the scar tissue that forms after you have been cut a few times. When you stay frozen because you're afraid of making a blunder, you aren't actually protecting your life, you're just wasting it. If you never move the piece, you never learn how the game reacts. You are just sitting in a silent room, staring at a board that's never going to change until you decide to touch it. So here's what no one tells you about the things you're afraid of. They're already happening. That difficult talk you're avoiding, it's already poisoning your relationship while you sit in silence. That career move you're scared of, that the world is already moving on without you. The spear has already been thrown and you can't stop it. Your only choice is how you're going to meet it. Stepping onto the blade doesn't mean you're suddenly a hero. It just means you have decided that if there's going to be collision, it's going to happen on your terms. You're choosing the pain of the encounter over the slow, agonizing rot of the retreat. When you finally stop dodging, the world stops being the scary thing that happens to you. It becomes something you're participating in. You stop asking, why is this so hard? And you start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Now, let's talk about the thing that actually keeps us awake at night. The fear of looking like an idiot. The fear of the blunder. The fear of embarrassment. In chess, there are best moves according to an engine. But if you only ever play the safe move because it's what you think you're supposed to do, you aren't really playing, you're just a script. You aren't learning anything. I want you to consider that there is more dignity in a blunder you truly believed in than in a success you stumbled into by accident. If you trust your move, if you put your heart into a decision and it goes completely sideways, you have gained something priceless. You have gained a data point. You now know for a fact what doesn't work, and that's wisdom. The guy who never fails isn't wise, he's just unwritten. He's a blank page. He spent his whole life in the tutorial because he's terrified of the game over screen. But you're out there getting your posture broken, and every time it happens, you're becoming harder to break the next time. We are so obsessed with keeping our lives perfect. We want the clean record. We want to be the person who always knew what to do. But those aren't the people we actually admire, are they? We admire the people who have been through it. The people who have a certain look in their eyes because they have stepped on the blade more times than they can count. You feel like you're under-leveled because you don't have the answers. But the answers don't exist until you ask the questions. You don't get wise and then start living. You live, you mess up, you step into the thrust, and eventually you realize you aren't the same person anymore. The wisdom you're looking for isn't in this video. It isn't in a book. It's waiting for you inside the next move you're afraid to make. So look at your board. What's the move you have been hovering over? What's the spear you have been dodging for the last 6 months? Tell me about a time you trusted a move and it turned into a total disaster. What did you learn from that blunder that you couldn't have learned from a win? I'll be in the comments reading because I want to know about the moves you're actually making. If you're ready to stop rolling away, stick around. We have got more to talk about. Step into the blade. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.